G'day gamers, Gob here, and welcome back to Gob's Quickies, and I am so excited! Crikey, Stroof, you beauty! We have now had MineCon live and had the announcement of dun-da-da, the Caves and Cliffs update. Let's be real, it's the Caves update. There's like one or two things about cliffs and 90 billion gazillion things about caves. So it's the Caves update, and I want to go through everything I know, which probably isn't a lot, about this future update, which according to the guys on the MineCon Live is due out in summer of 2021, which is only like 2 months away. Oh my goodness! Oh, hang on. They're in the northern hemisphere. I'm in the southern hemisphere. Summer's like the middle of the year for them, and it's winter for me then, and summer is my Christmas. And anyway, so back to what I was saying. Due out in the middle of 2021. Yay! So not that far away. We'll count down. Everyone set an alarm. Do it. Do it now. You got time. And while you're there, hit like and subscribe. Yes. Okay, so what do we know? Let's go have a squiz. So we have the Lush Caves. Now, as you see here, there is a new tree, and it is an azalea tree. Those beautiful, pretty pink flowers. If you follow the roots of an azalea tree down, you end up in a lush cave. Now, you can tell the roots, they look like a dirt block with roots growing through it. In the lush cave, you see carpets of mossy grass things. You've got vines hanging down with these lovely yellow fruits. And you've got these big flowers, pink flowers, hanging from the ceiling. And it is just so pretty. Now, those pink flowers are spore blossoms, and they give particle effects. And you can move them around and put them in your base and get particle effects as well. And this is the DRIPLERF plant. It looks like a lily pad on a vine. Now, it can be used to take a little bit of weight. You can step on it and jump up and do a bit of parkour, but if you stay standing on it for too long, it starts to droop and you'll fall through, and once you've fallen through, it'll spring back. Now, another thing they're doing is improved cave generation. What does this mean? It means that you're going to get caves that are larger, they're bigger, they're more natural looking, and it really gives you a place to explore. Now, you're going to find that they have a lot more water, and according to Mojang, they're going to have localized water levels. So you can find one cave with water at one level, another cave with another water level, and you can get waterfalls and things like that. It's a bit like cave diving, and you can now, because of the size of these caves, use different methods to get around. You can fly if you've got a elytra, you can jump in a boat, if you get your horse down there, you can even ride around on a horse or a donkey. Hee-haw! And that'll be a bit silly, isn't it? But yeah, there we are, punting through the caves and going all around. Exciting, isn't it? You can just sort of explore to your heart's content. Another cave that they've introduced is the Dripstone Cave. Now, I think this is just an artist's impression superimposed, but you can see stalactites and stalagmites. I actually think there is a different type of block in there too, which might be a dripstone block in its entirety. But the stalactites are hanging from the ceilings and the stalagmites are hanging from the grounds. And as you see, the stalactites can fall, and they've got water dripping off them. And anything that falls on a stalagmite, as you saw with a poor zombie, will get hurt. And if you put a cauldron underneath the stalactites, they'll fill with water. So don't stand under the stalactites, you'll get hurt if they fall on you. Don't stand somewhere and fall on a stalagmite, you'll get hurt as well. Now, how do you remember which is which? Here's a little trick Gob learnt a long time ago. Stalactites hold on tight onto the roof so they don't fall down, and stalagmites, if they're lucky, might one day grow high enough to get to the roof. Stalactites hold on tight, stalagmites might get to the roof. There you go, there's a freebie from Gob. Now, the skulk growths is a biome found in the deep, dark cave biome, right down in the base of the world, and it's a layer, a bit like a snow block on top of the ground. And it lays there. On top of it, you've got the plant itself, and you've also got these strange looking spory growth things, and they're called skulk sensors. Now, these sensors have little tiny antennas on them, and they detect movement. So you've got to sneak. If you don't sneak, it'll hear you. And those little antennas will go, and they'll emit a redstone signal. And now that is very exciting to all you redstoners out there. A block, a natural growing block that emits a redstone signal, and it works on sound. Okay, so if you place a block, or you walk, or anything like that, or you throw something, it'll hear it, and it'll emit a signal. Let's see how that can be used. Now, here's the skulk sensor. See the little antennas? Okay, you got a bit of movement, makes a noise, the antennas vibrate, emits a redstone signal. Okay, you can use wool to occlude the signal. Okay, so it'll be like muffling the noise. Put it down on one side, it won't emit the sound that way or the redstone signal. Here's a little tricky way then to make yourself a brand new style of clock. Okay, you can put your piston next to the skulk sensor, and it'll just keep on working backwards and forwards forever and ever and ever. Because as the piston moves, it creates a noise, which creates a sensor, which gives a redstone signal, which fires the piston, and it just goes on and on and on. And you might be able to put some delays in with repeaters or things like that and make a brand new style of clock without hoppers. There you go. Actually, you could do that earlier in the game without a lot of iron, couldn't you? Sounds like fun. Now, this is the very exciting thing about the skulk sensors. Wireless redstone. By using the occlusion, it directs the signal. And down in the deep dark, there is a new mob called the Warden. Now, I'm actually very excited about these stone bricks. How good do they look? I'm very excited about that. Very excited indeed. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with that. Now, if you also look around, the light sort of seems to go on and off. I don't know if that's going to be an effect that stays, but it's certainly very interesting. Now, if you come around the corner here, there's like a candle. It looks a bit like a sea pickle, so maybe it has a similar functionality or similar growing mechanic, but they look like candles, and all the builders out there will be rejoicing with what you can do with that. Now, we're about to go in somewhere. And it's a new sort of structure. Now, I don't know if this is just built for the preview, but it could be some form of dungeon or home to the Warden who we're about to see. Now, the Warden is a new mob. To me, it looks a bit like the Owl Beast from Dungeons and Dragons many years ago. Now, it is blind, and it senses movement. It's got little antennas on its head, a bit like the skulk sensor. So you can distract it by throwing things or whatever, but when it senses you and hears you, it will come a-running, and it is big and it is tough, and it hits hard and hits you nastily. It's a bit like taking on a iron golem, and it sort of moves to that effect. It doesn't appear to have any range sort of powers, but when it gets you hard. And now this demo, the guy's in Netherite armor, and it only takes 2 hits to kill him dead. D-E-D and dead. Now the goat is going to spawn in the mountain biome. Now the goats can jump really high, as you can see there. They're sort of like, whoopity! But they seem to be cantankerous beasts, and they will attack other beasties and knock them a-flying. And there's a little baby one, which suggests that you can breed them. Now remember, this is the Caves and Cliffs update, so apart from the goats, They're also going to do improved mountain structures, okay? So they will get nice and big, and they'll generate with tree lines and snow. And apparently there's going to be a powdered snow layer where you step on it and you can fall through. It's a trap. Yes, a trap. Another new biome is the Amethyst geode. Now this structure is a bit like finding a dungeon, okay? It's not something that you can transport and take elsewhere. It is naturally generated and you can't move it. And in these geodes you will find amethyst crystals. And you can break these crystals down to shards and use them to build things. But you've got to go hunt them down. And you can use the amethyst shards to make a telescope, and the telescope works just sort of a similar way to Optifine Zoom, where you can zoom in and have a look at something in the long distance. G'day mate, how are you? Oh, there's a chicken. Is that a Ravager? And Mojang have finally brought us another type of ore. Now I'm not too sure what Y level it's going to spawn at, but it is copper. And copper is found not in clumps like we currently see with ores, but in veins. So you've got to go hunting. You've got to dig out. You've got to keep following the vein. And I wonder if that's going to be the case for future ores as well when this new update comes through. An exciting part about having copper in the game is they've brought in at least copper slabs, copper blocks and copper stairs. Now the really exciting thing about that is if you use it in your build, over time it will oxidize and go green. Now oxidize is like rusting on iron, so the copper is exposed to oxygen and it turns into copper oxide, which is a dark greenish colour. And for those of you who are sick of getting your buildings burnt down by lightning strikes, they've now brought in the lightning rod. It's made out of copper, you whack it on your structure and it will attract the lightning and take it away from all your builds and keep them nice and safe so they won't burn down, and hopefully protect your villages from becoming witchy boos as well. Now this is an exciting feature. It's the bundle. It's a bit like having an inventory within an inventory, like a directory on your phone. So you create the bundle, you can whack items into it, it will allow a stack of up to 64. So if you've got 64 of any one item that stacks to 64, it'll allow 32 of one type, 32 of another. But just remember, anything that doesn't stack to 64 will be different. Unstackable items don't go in there, but things like ender pools and that will, but a stack is only 16. So you'll only be able to get 16 in there, or a combination thereof. Now this is exciting. This is a bit like finding an igloo. It's an archaeological excavation, a dig site for some form of ancient archaeologists within the Minecraft world, and you can make this new tool called a brush. You can go up to gravel or dirt that appears within the dig and you can brush away the levels. Now the exciting part here is, does this mean we can actually make dirt slabs or gravel slabs or different leveled blocks? It'd be so exciting. But as you brush away, and if you're very careful, you might find something hidden within the block. And you've got to be careful or you'll lose it. But if you are careful, you'll get things, and they could be treasures or they could be clay fragments like this one here. And you can take those ceramic shards back up to your dig work area and can use them to make something else. But you can find other things as well, and it's very exciting. Like, what does this add to the lore of the game? What does it add to the storyline? Are we ever going to find out, or are we just going to make it up as we go? I'm really excited to know if we can actually make different layers of these blocks. Oh, there's an emerald. Don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case when the update comes out, but that's what it is now, and we can come back and you can whack our stuff in to be displayed. Okay, see different pictures at the moment. There's a skelly, there's a tree. I think we had a player on one of the shards that he just found then. But then you can take those shards and go and put them onto a clay pot to make a bit of a storyboard. There's a cow and a tree. Okay, and when you get the clay pot and you're happy with your picture that you've got there, you can light a fire underneath it, fire up your pot, and you'll get yourself a glazed clay pot. Not too sure about the use of that just yet, but it looks pretty and could be used in decorations within your build. Now, a new mob that you'll find in water bodies within the Lush caves is the axolotl, and apparently this is modelled on a little salamander thing from Mexico, which is endangered, and it's very nice of Minecraft to immortalise them in the game. Now, they come in different colours and they swim around, and you can capture them in a bucket. And here we go now. And it appears by capturing them in a bucket, that's the way of taming them. And you can then create your own little axolotl army, and they'll follow you and they will fight creatures underwater, a bit like a wolf will fight things for you. And if they get hurt, they'll play dead and they'll regenerate, and it's hinted that they'll even regenerate the player. How nice is that? And the last thing that came out of the MineCon Live is the announcement of the new mob that everyone got to vote for. I didn't vote, please don't judge me. But the winner of the new mob, drumroll please, is the glow squid, and it comes from Minecraft Earth, and it glows, and it's found in water things in flooded caves, and it's going to be the new mob for the game. Yep, glow squid. So there you go, everything that I know and have been able to piece together about the caves and cliffs update for Minecraft 1.17. It is so exciting, and I can't wait for all the snapshots to start coming out. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Consider becoming a patron and coming and playing on our patron server with all of the other TryCrafters and our patrons. It's a lot of fun. And that's all I got time for today. Until next time, hooroo.